In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to calculate the volume of a cylinder and a triangular prism. So we'll begin with the cylinder. Now, this is a cylinder over here. You can find a shape like this in real life if you play tennis. So the plastic contraption, or sometimes made of tin or metal, that tennis balls sit in, the long cylindrical tube, that is an example of a cylinder in real life. So if you don't play tennis, you could also think of a soft drink can, so Sprite, Fanta, Coke, Diet Coke, any of those small 375ml cans are also examples of cylinders. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write down our formula. Now, the formula for the volume of a cylinder is V equals pi r squared h. Now, the pi needs to be put into your calculator as the actual pi button, not 3.14. The R stands for radius, which you should know is half of the diameter, so half of the length from the middle to the edge of a circle. And then H stands for height. Now, a cylinder, if you can imagine, well, a cylinder is obviously a 3D shape, but as you can imagine, if you look at just what the top and the bottom is, what shape it comprises of, you'll see that they're actually circles, okay? So we get this formula by actually calculating the area of the circle and then multiplying by its height to give the volume inside of the shape. So all the space that this cylinder makes up, that's how we get this formula. We get the pi r squared from calculating the area of the circle, okay? So our height is obviously 40 and our radius is 9. We are in fact given half of this circle. So yes, we do have the radius, and now we can just substitute in our formula. Now remember, when there are no gaps, there are imaginary time signs. Okay, so my volume equals pi times the radius, which is 9, squared, times the height, which is 40. Now you put this in your calculator exactly as you see it. So we do pi button times 9 squared times 40. What we're given as the height and the radius are also in the same units, so we don't need to convert anything. We press equals and we get a volume of, and we'll round to 2 decimal places, millimeters cubed, because we're calculating volume and volume units are cubed. Okay, so that's the volume of a cylinder. I'm just working down the volume and capacity formula sheet that's up on DayMap. So if you're wondering why each video has these certain shapes in it in this order, it's because I'm working my way through that formula sheet. So yes, that's how I'm doing this order. So next we're going to find the volume of what we call a triangular prism. So this is a 3D version of a triangle. Okay, common example, Toblerone, if you like that chocolate. Not a big fan myself personally, but yeah, if you like Toblerone, think about a Toblerone and its packaging. That is a triangular prism. So how do we find the volume of one of these? Well, the volume equals half base height times big height. So we've got two H's, one lowercase and one capital. Now, the B stands for base. The little h stands for height of the triangle face. And then the big H is height of the actual prism itself. Okay. You'll notice that actually this part here in the formula is the area of a triangle. So what you're basically doing is the first part of the formula is telling you to calculate the area of this front face, which is obviously a triangle, and this is the formula for the area of a triangle, and then you're multiplying by the prism's height. Now, I know it doesn't look like a height like this because it seems like it's flat, but if we got this triangular prism and we turned it like this, and it was actually sitting now on this back triangle, it would be a height because this would look like this and it'd be like this, so it'd be sitting up now. All right, but basically, to make things easy, you're practically looking for this other length here, and you say that's the height. I've just drawn this prism like this. So yeah, to calculate the volume of one of these shapes, we're calculating the area of the face and then multiplying by its height because we want to find out how much space is inside of it. So let's go ahead to our diagram and label everything. This is the base of our triangle, so 35 is our B. The height of our triangle face is lowercase h. Well, this is the height of the actual triangle itself, so this one here. So 17 is our little h. And capital H is the height of the prism, so the 18 that's left over. And now we can substitute into our formula. So V equals half times the base, which is 35, times little h, which is 17, times big H, which is 18. Okay, you can actually put this all in your calculator as 1. You don't need to do this part separate to that because we're multiplying the whole way through. So half, you do the fraction button, and you obviously do 1/2 because we've got half. And then you do times 35 times 17 times 18. And that equals millimeters. So all three of the numbers that I've been given are in millimeters, so I don't need to convert. Cubed, because we are calculating volume.